Dolores del Rio was Hollywood's first major Latin American crossover star, and a woman once described by Orson Welles as the most beautiful woman in Hollywood. Before stars like Salma Hayek and Penelope Cruz broke barriers, there was Dolores del Rio, whose extraordinary beauty and talent captivated audiences in both North America and Mexico during Hollywood's golden age. Today, we're exploring the memorable residences of this groundbreaking star and looking at her homes across the globe. But first, let's take a moment to remember her legacy and rise to fame. Born to aristocratic parents in Durango, Mexico in 1904, Dolores del Rio's journey to stardom began unexpectedly when filmmaker Edwin Carew discovered her at a dinner party in Mexico City. By 1925, she had become one of Hollywood's most sought-after leading ladies, starring in silent films like What Price Glory, and later transitioning successfully to talkies with Bird of Paradise and Flying Down to Rio. Unlike many silent film stars whose careers faltered with the advent of sound, Del Rio's exotic appeal and undeniable talent allowed her to thrive in both American and Mexican cinema for decades. Throughout her successful career, Dolores maintained homes that reflected her dual cultural identity and sophisticated taste. Her residences, from a glamorous Santa Monica estate during Hollywood's golden age to a cultural sanctuary in Mexico City and a tranquil Cuernavaca retreat, provided both privacy from the public eye and spaces to entertain Hollywood's elite. At the height of her fame, Del Rio's net worth would be equivalent to approximately $10 million today, allowing her to create living spaces that were as dramatic and captivating as her on-screen performances. Now, let's step inside these spectacular homes that sheltered one of cinema's most enigmatic stars, spaces that witnessed both her professional triumphs and personal ups and downs, including her marriages to production designer Cedric Gibbons and film producer Lewis Riley. Our tour begins with perhaps the most architecturally significant of Del Rio's homes, her Santa Monica estate, a modernist masterpiece tucked into a secluded cul-de-sac in the Santa Monica Mountains. This wasn't just any Hollywood home, but a custom-designed haven created by none other than Cedric Gibbons, Metro-Goldwyn-Mayer's legendary art director and Dolores' second husband. When Gibbons designed this home in 1930, he wasn't simply creating a beautiful place to live. He was crafting a cinematic experience for himself and his glamorous new bride. Perched in a terraced canyon with breathtaking views of the Pacific Ocean, the property provided a much-needed retreat for two of Hollywood's most recognizable faces. The home's elevated position allowed for both privacy and unparalleled vistas, perfect for a star who needed to escape the constant attention of publicity. Gibbons was celebrated for introducing the sleek, streamlined silhouettes of the Jazz Age to American cinema, and he applied these same principles to his personal residence. What emerged was widely held by architects and designers as a deeply cinematic property. Here we see Dolores posing by the sweeping archways that lined a courtyard on the property, her elegant figure perfectly complementing the clean architectural lines behind her. Inside, the home followed what film historians refer to as the big white set concept, a silver screen staple of the era, characterized by spacious white interiors bathed in incandescent lighting. These stark, unadorned spaces served as the perfect backdrop for Dolores' dramatic entrances down the home's brushed steel staircase, and provided the perfect setting for the glamorous dinner parties the couple was known for hosting. Against these minimalist backgrounds, Dolores' striking beauty could truly shine, whether she was entertaining Hollywood royalty or simply relaxing on the home's modern built-in furnishings. Unlike many ornate Hollywood homes of the period, the Del Rio Gibbons residence was notably simplistic in its design and use of materials. Rather than relying on elaborate decorations, Gibbons created drama through his masterful manipulation of light, space, and reflection. Mirrors amplified the California sunshine, while polished all-black fixtures, characteristic of the Modernist style, provided dramatic contrast to the white walls. Gibbons is believed to have been the only designer in Hollywood to attend the influential Exposition des Arts Décoratifs et Industriels Modernes in Paris in 1925, the very event that gave Art Deco its name. This European influence is evident throughout the home, from its geometric patterns to its emphasis on luxury materials like chrome and exotic woods. Architecturally, the house was revolutionary for its time, built in what was considered an upside-down style. Unlike traditional homes, the larger primary living room was situated on the second floor rather than the first, maximizing the stunning ocean views and creating a dramatic spatial experience as visitors moved through the home. This style of home is still used and definitely more popular in areas with exceptional scenic surroundings. The residence is also filled with architectural lore that hints at the couple's complicated relationship. There's a persistent rumor that Gibbons built a trapdoor in the master bedroom closet, which led down to the one in the downstairs bedroom. Legend has it that while Dolores enjoyed the master suite upstairs, Gibbons often slept downstairs and had to climb a ladder to access his wife's room, an unusual arrangement that foreshadowed their eventual split. The couple divorced in 1941, following Del Rio's widely publicized affair with Orson Welles, who once called her the most beautiful woman in the world. After her divorce from Gibbons and the end of her relationship with Welles, Dolores del Rio made a momentous decision that would transform both her life and her career. She returned to her native Mexico. In 1942, feeling increasingly typecast in Hollywood as the exotic beauty, Del Rio accepted an invitation from Mexican film director Emilio Fernandez to star in the film Flor Silvestre. This marked the beginning of what many consider her artistic renaissance in Mexican cinema. Upon her return, Del Rio purchased a striking colonial-style home in Mexico City's prestigious Coyoacan neighborhood, an area known for housing artists and intellectuals, including her friends Frida Kahlo and Diego Rivera. Unlike the modernist statement of a Santa Monica residence, this home embraced traditional Mexican architecture and design, reflecting Del Rio's reconnection with her cultural roots. The Mexico City residence featured a central courtyard typical of colonial Mexican homes, with vibrant bougainvillea cascading down whitewashed walls. Inside, Del Rio decorated with a thoughtful blend of traditional Mexican crafts and contemporary art pieces. Hand-painted Talavera tiles were featured in the kitchen and bathrooms, while indigenous textiles added warmth and color to the living spaces. What made this home particularly special was how it served as a cultural salon for Mexico's artistic elite. Here, Del Rio frequently hosted gatherings that brought together filmmakers, artists, writers, and musicians. These gatherings weren't merely social events, but creative incubators where ideas for films and artistic collaborations were born. It was in this home that Del Rio solidified her status not just as a returning movie star, but as a serious cultural figure, committed to elevating Mexican cinema on the world stage. Throughout the residence, Del Rio displayed an impressive collection of Mexican art, including works by her friends Rivera and Kahlo, as well as pieces by other prominent Mexican artists like Rufino Tamayo and José Clemente Orozco. The home's library held an extensive collection of books on Mexican history, art and culture, evidence of Del Rio's intellectual curiosity and a desire to deepen her understanding of her heritage after years in Hollywood. Friends recalled how she would often be found reading in the library's window seat, which overlooked the lush garden where she grew native Mexican plants and herbs. By the mid-1950s, as Del Rio continued her successful career in Mexican cinema, she sought a peaceful counterpoint to a busy life in Mexico City. She found it in La Escondida, the Hidden One, her estate in Cuernavaca, located about 50 miles south of Mexico City. Known as the City of Eternal Spring for its perfect year-round climate, Cuernavaca has long been a favorite retreat for Mexico's elite, and Del Rio's home there became a most loved residence. La Escondida was a hacienda-style property, characterized by its terracotta roof tiles, thick adobe walls, and expansive verandas designed for outdoor living. Unlike the stark modernism of a Santa Monica home or the colonial formality of a Mexico City residence, this home embraced a more relaxed, organic aesthetic that reflected Del Rio's evolving life philosophy. The outdoors is what really stands out in this home. The gardens at La Escondida were perhaps its most spectacular feature, designed with careful attention to traditional Mexican landscaping principles. Del Rio worked with renowned landscape architect Luis Barragan to create a series of outdoor rooms featuring native plants, tranquil water features, and hidden seating areas. Friends recall that Del Rio would spend hours tending to these gardens herself, finding peace in the physical connection to the earth. The interior of La Escondida reflected Del Rio's matured taste, comfortable yet elegant, with handcrafted furniture made by local artisans. Rather than displaying obvious wealth, the home emphasized craftsmanship and authenticity. Each room opened onto the gardens, blurring the distinction between indoor and outdoor living in a way that was revolutionary for its time, but deeply connected to traditional Mexican architectural principles. It was at La Escondida that Del Rio entertained her closest friends, including international celebrities like Marlene Dietrich and Maria Felix, who would visit for extended stays away from the public eye. The home's guest book, if it still exists, would read like a who's who of mid-century film royalty from both Hollywood and Mexico's thriving film industry. Del Rio's third husband, theatre producer Lewis Riley, shared a love for this property, and together they used it as both a creative retreat and a place to host intimate gatherings for fellow artists. Unlike her previous marriages, this relationship endured until her death, perhaps partly due to the peaceful sanctuary she and her husband created together at La Escondida. In the 1960s, as Del Rio entered her later years, she began dividing her time between Mexico and California. While maintaining her beloved Cuernavaca estate, she and Riley purchased a more modest yet still elegant Spanish colonial revival home in Beverly Hills. This final American residence represented a full-circle moment in Del Rio's life, a return to Hollywood not as a starlet seeking fame, but as a respected international icon with nothing left to prove. Unlike the avant-garde statement of her first Hollywood home, this residence embraced classic California Spanish architecture, with its characteristic white stucco walls, red tiled roof, and wrought iron details. The home featured a central courtyard with a fountain, reminiscent of traditional Mexican design but adapted to the California lifestyle. Inside, Del Rio decorated with a sophisticated blend of Mexican and California styles. Photographs from this period show elegant but comfortable spaces filled with books, art and mementos from an extraordinary life and career. Her office displayed numerous awards from both American and Mexican film institutions, including Mexico's prestigious Ariel Award, which she won 4 times. This home served primarily as Del Rio's base when working on American television projects or attending Hollywood functions. Despite being in her 60s, she continued to work selectively, appearing in John Ford's Cheyenne's Autumn and on popular television shows. Friends who visited noted that while her previous homes had been designed to impress or to retreat from the world, this final residence seems designed primarily for comfort and practicality. Del Rio, now in her 60s and 70s, had moved beyond the need for architectural statements and instead created a warm, welcoming space where she could host her international circle of friends when in California. As we've toured these remarkable homes, we've seen how each residence reflected a distinct chapter in Dolores del Rio's extraordinary life. From the forward-thinking modernism of a Santa Monica estate, which embodied the glamour and innovation of early Hollywood, to the cultural richness of a Mexico City home, where she reconnected with her roots and helped revolutionize Mexican cinema. Her peaceful Cuernavaca retreat represented her mature years and search for authenticity, while her final Beverly Hills residence symbolized her status as a living legend who has successfully bridged 2 cultures. Del Rio's legacy extends far beyond her 60-plus films or her status as a pioneer for Latin American performers in Hollywood. Until her death in 1983, she remained a cultural ambassador between Mexico and the United States, maintaining homes that welcome artists and intellectuals from both countries. Her residences weren't just places to live, but physical manifestations of a belief that art, culture, and personal relationships could transcend national boundaries. Now, if you enjoyed this glimpse into the homes of Hollywood's first Latin American star, please hit the like button and subscribe to our channel for more tours of legendary celebrities' homes. Let us know in the comments which classic Hollywood star you'd like us to feature next.